Okay, hello. So for this week, you're going to be reading this book called My Busy Green Garden by Terry Pierce, illustrated by Carol Schwartz. So for Tuesday, you're going to listen to the story and list the things that are in the garden. And then on Thursday, you're going to compare your backyard or your garden to the garden in the story. So when we're comparing, we're looking at, is it the same? Is it different? And then on Friday, you're going to imagine your own garden and what would be in your garden. And you're going to draw a picture and write about your garden. One thing that is also interesting about this story is there is a lot of rhyming. So while you're reading, you're going to be hearing lots of rhyming words. So I want you to pay attention to that as well. So here we go. My Busy Green Garden by Terry Pierce, illustrated by Carol Schwartz. This is my busy green garden. There's a surprise in clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. So I've already heard some rhyming. Surprise, disguise. They have the same sounds at the end. Eyes, eyes. Surprise, disguise. That's a rhyming word. We've read about something that looks like this, and if I'm remembering correctly, this looks a lot like a chrysalis. This is a ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. So this is what I mean, like this is one of the first things that's in the story, is a ladybug. So you would write the word ladybug or draw a picture of a ladybug. This is a honey bee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. Below, so, surprise, disguise, they rhyme. This is a hummingbird fluttering round, the hurrying honey bee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. This is an inchworm who creeps up and down, dodging the hummingbird fluttering round, down, round, they rhyme. The hurrying honeybee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. This is a mantis awaiting his prey, spying the inchworm who creeps up and down, dodging the hummingbird fluttering round, the hurrying honeybee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. This is a dragonfly dashing away, that startles the mantis awaiting his prey, spying the inchworm who creeps up and down, dodging the hummingbird fluttering round, the hurrying honeybee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. These are the ants that are tracking their scout, ignoring the dragonfly dashing away that startles the mantis awaiting his prey, spying the inchworm who creeps up and down, dodging the hummingbird fluttering round, the hurrying honeybee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. This is a grasshopper leaping about, vaulting the ants that are tracking their scout, ignoring the dragonfly dashing away that startles the mantis awaiting his prey, spying the inchworm who creeps up and down, dodging the hummingbird fluttering round, the hurrying honeybee buzzing below, the red-spotted ladybug dawdling so near the surprise and clever disguise that hangs in my busy green garden. Lots of stuff in their garden. This is a chickadee, hungry and quick. This is the chickadee. He chases the grasshopper bounding about, that scatters the ants that were tracking their scout, that flee from the dragonfly dashing away, that muddles the mantis awaiting his prey, that jiggles the inchworm who creeps up and down, that flusters the hummingbird fluttering round, that angers the honeybee buzzing below, that launches the ladybug dawdling so, that bumps the surprise in clever disguise, that wriggles and writes, then stretches and flies away from my busy green garden. Ooh, what a beautiful illustration. Okay, so here we have some stuff about the insects, the bugs, that were in the busy green garden. Ladybugs. Ladybugs are also called ladybird beetles. You might know them from the Mother Goose rhyme, "Ladybird, ladybird, fly away home." I've never heard that rhyme. New to me. These tiny bugs can certainly fly, but they crawl on plants when they eat. Ladybugs have big appetites. That means that they can eat a lot and love to eat aphids and other plant-eating insects. Because ladybugs eat harmful pests, gardeners welcome them. Cool. I didn't know that about ladybugs. Honeybee. Honeybees live in hives. Each hive has a queen bee, many drones, those are males or boy bees, and many more workers, females or girl bees. The bees that you see flying in a garden are worker bees. One of their jobs is to gather food, pollen and nectar from flowers. In the hive, bees make honey from the nectar. Hummingbird. Hummingbirds don't hum the way you do. Their hum comes from their wings beating so fast. Hummingbird wings move in a way that lets them hover while they sip nectar from blossoms. You'd have to look hard to find a hummingbird's nest near your garden. They're the size of a walnut. That's really small. Oh my god. Hummingbirds weave twigs and leaves to build a nest, then hold it together with spider web thread. That's so cool. I didn't know any of that. Inchworm. An inchworm may look like a worm, but it isn't one. It's actually the caterpillar of a geometer moth. Wow. Inchworms get their name from how they move. They stretch the front of their body way out, like that, I guess. So they stretch the front of their body way out, then bring up the rear of their body to meet the front. Okay, so if this is it, then this would be the end of their body, the rear. Can you move like an inchworm? You can. You could, but it sounds like it would be really hard. Mantis. Mantises don't hunt for food. They lie in wait until the food comes close enough to catch. Luckily for mantises, their coloring helps them blend in with plants. I remember, when something blends in like that, it's called camouflage. How do they spy their food so well? With a special feature, mantises are the only insect that can turn their heads from side to side. What? This and their huge eyes help them spy food, then snatch it up lightning quick. Wow, I just learned a whole lot about bugs. There's more. Okay. Dragonfly. No one knows how the dragonfly got its name, but a better name might be helicopter fly. Dragonflies are great flyers and move like a helicopter. They can dart up, down, forward, backwards, and sideways. It's good that they fly so well because they can only catch food while flying. One of their favorite foods is mosquitoes. So the next time you see a dragonfly in your garden, be sure to thank him. Ant. Why do ants crawl in a line? It's all about finding food. Ants live in colonies, with different ants having different jobs. Some of them, the scouts, leave the nest to look for food. As each scout moves, she leaves a scent behind. The scent helps her find her way back to the nest after she has found food. That way, other ants can follow the scent to the food and bring it back to the colony. That's a lot of teamwork. Lots of teamwork with the ants going on. Grasshopper. If you have ever tried to catch a grasshopper, you know they are terrific jumpers. How do they jump so well? Grasshoppers have powerful hind legs. So when we're talking about hind legs, we're talking about the back legs. So like these are the hind legs. Right before they leap, they push on the big muscles in their legs, loading them up with energy. When they jump, they let out the energy like a spring and fling themselves into the air. Wowza. Chickadee. Chickadee. These quick little birds get their name from their song. I cannot sing like a chickadee, I know that much. Black-capped chickadees spend much of their day eating. They feed on berries, nuts, and seeds, but mostly on insects. Parent birds carry insects back to their nest for their hungry chicks. Where do chickadees build their nests? Usually in a hollowed out part of a tree. Sometimes they even move into an old woodpecker hole. Butterfly. A butterfly begins its life as an egg attached to a plant stem or leaf. Well, we know that. We read that whole book about butterflies. When the egg hatches, a larva or caterpillar comes out. The caterpillar constantly eats leaves to grow large and fat. It then sticks itself to a plant and slowly turns into a pupa, or chrysalis. The chrysalis looks like part of the plant. Quite a clever disguise. Inside the chrysalis, the caterpillar changes into a butterfly. This life cycle change is called a metamorphosis. After a few days, the chrysalis opens and an adult butterfly comes out. Usually its wings are wet and wrinkled, so it has to let them dry out and spread before fluttering away. Butterflies have been on Earth for 200 million years or more. There are 18,500 kinds or species, and most are beautiful. The ones shown in the book are sulfur butterflies. Ooh la la. That's a lot of different kinds of butterflies. Okay, so you're going to reread this book on Thursday and Friday so that you can complete the activities there. And I think that's it. All right.